Hey friends, I've been using the Galaxy S24 Ultra for about a week now. And what's made this device my new daily driver from now on, and why I even say it's worth upgrading from the Galaxy S23 Ultra, you will find out right now. I recently released a video about what has changed on paper with the Galaxy S24 Ultra compared to the S23 Ultra, showing you where are big or small differences. Only after using the device in real life for a few days do you notice where the real changes can be felt and where, surprisingly, not. In terms of design, on paper not much has changed compared to the Galaxy S23 Ultra, but enough that the S23 Ultra's cases don't fit on the S24 Ultra. The S24 Ultra is 1 mm shorter, 0.9 mm wider and 0.3 mm thinner than the S23 Ultra, combined with the fact that the S24 Ultra now has a flat display. Surprisingly for me, it actually feels better in the hand. You can laugh at that now, but this 1 mm difference in length and width somehow makes the device more balanced when you hold it in one hand, which I really welcome because just like the S23 Ultra, the S24 Ultra is like a brick with its 6.8 inches. Nothing has changed in terms of weight, although the S24 Ultra is now a whopping 1 gram lighter, and you can totally tell. No, nonsense, of course you don't notice. To be honest, I was hoping that we would lose 5 grams of weight here, but I can't manage to lose my Christmas roast goose weight, so why should I expect that from my smartphone? I'm betting on next year, both for the Galaxy and for me. The feel is a little bit different thanks to the titanium frame. It feels a bit rougher, which I still like, but if you think that the S24 Ultra has become more slip resistant, it's far from that. It's still slippery little suckers. However, there are no longer any fingerprints on the frames, so you don't always have to awkwardly wipe it off on your pants before putting it on the table, which is also a welcome small improvement. But what you really notice now are the thinner and precisely symmetrical display edges and the brutally sharp and bright display itself. In any case, the display is simply the best, and at a whopping 2600 nits, it's also the brightest thing on the smartphone market. If you hold the S24 Ultra in your hand and just scroll around a bit, you will see that in terms of design and workmanship, this device is one of the highest quality that the smartphone market has to offer. The really fantastic color titanium gray also contributes to this, the most beautiful color I've ever seen on a smartphone, because depending on the light it changes between silver and taupe. I can see the 80% male viewers who watch this channel are already googling taupe. What the heck is taupe? I had my doubts as to whether you would even notice the difference in performance between the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is installed in the S23 Ultra, and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the S24 Ultra, because the S23 Ultra was already super high performance, like a Harvard business grad in her first year at Deloitte, passing with flying colors. When setting the S24 Ultra up, I noticed that it leaves no doubt that it's still a step up from the S23 Ultra. While with the previous Galaxies you had to wait 10 to 20 seconds here and there during setup, the S24 Ultra just whips you through the setup process so much that you find yourself out of breath as quickly as the information is requested from you. I also believe that the performance of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is necessary to make all the new AI functions as smooth and extremely fast as they are now. Some of them are also coming to the S23 Ultra, and I'm really excited to see whether everything will run as quickly as with the S24 Ultra. For example, the new circle to search, where you can simply circle what you are currently seeing and the search results will be displayed within a fraction of a second. There must be a lot of performance behind it that it feels like it doesn't even take a second to load. For me, the circle to search feature along with live translator when making calls is the highlight of the Galaxy AI. It simplifies the search for everything so much. I don't think you'll understand that until you try it out for yourself. And then there are a few other cool things. I recently published a video about this too, if you are interested in more detail. You get used to these AI features very quickly because they are really practical. I have to disagree with everyone who says it's all gimmicks and unnecessary frills, because it's so great and practical to erase unwanted people from your vacation photos, or having your own interpreter with you on vacation and being able to travel the whole world without communication problems because the language barriers simply disappear. Do you want to vacation on the most remote island in Thailand? Please, no problem, you can converse fluently with the locals there. For many people who, for example, don't know a bit of English, the language barrier is a good reason not to travel to distant countries. The interpreter and live translation during phone calls help bring the world closer together if you're open to it and want it. And all of this thanks to a smartphone. As far as the camera is concerned, there's only one change, namely that the second telephoto lens only has a 5x zoom instead of previous 10x zoom, but the 5x optical zoom is now equipped with 50 megapixels instead of the previous 10 megapixels. Feel free to decide for yourself which of the recordings you like better. As far as the battery is concerned, we still have 5000 mAh, so I can get through more than 2 full days with the new processor. Sometimes it's the case that small changes have a big impact. Millimeter small shifts in the design, a few nits more display brightness, a small translation feature that we have had on our cell phones in a different form for years, so that it now also works for phone calls. This probably wasn't rocket science in development, but this small innovative change means that what we are, who we are, and the language we grow up with is no longer a barrier to communicating with the whole world. And I hope that Samsung and other manufacturers will continue to consistently integrate these often underestimated little changes into our everyday lives. Because this is the only way development works, and this is the only way we can move forward. One step at a time. That was my first impression of the Galaxy S24 Ultra after 7 days of use. I really hope you liked the video. If so, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Friends, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and see you next time. Mwah.